harboring this demon for years.
Yes, that makes more sense to me. When we think about we think about Return of the Living Dead 3 or Hellraiser, when you have like an actual human being, helping out this demon, thinking that it's his daughter that needs to feed or something, that makes way more sense to harbor these, or to basically to take in these orphans.
Okay.
As opposed to we just really want to repent. We felt really bad after what happened.
I needed there to be something with Mr. Mullins that turned him and his wife into bad people. I needed them to because they were wholesome at the beginning, and I needed
wholesome. What do you call it? You call that wholesome?
Well, they were fine. They were a loving family. They went to church.
Oh, you're talking about it before? I'm talking about right after
before.
That. Yeah, okay.
So sometime within this 12 years living with this demon, I wanted them to take in these kids,
right?
Because they wanted a new daughter, and they were going to do it they were going to do something. Yeah. Offer these souls to the demon in replace for her daughter. Do something heinous, something evil.
And relating back to the boy, as I mentioned earlier, the way they did it actually made more sense, because basically they abandoned this character to stay with the son, and they ended up just leaving just by committing suicide, which was silly in its own way. Mm-hmm. But I still buy into the way. I don't know how I'm comparing the boy and this very much, because they're both involving
dolls that paid no consequence.
But I felt like the boy was way more self-aware than Annabelle. Yeah. And for those who want to know what we're talking about, we spoke about this. I think it's our second episode of the podcast. If you want to review back to it, we did speak about it and what we liked about it. So.
And it was never released.
Oh, it was never released?
That was one of our first ones. We never released it.
I think we did.
That in the Woods.
No, we did. We did speak about those two films at some point.
Okay, but we did speak about them, but we never released them.
We did in one episode, actually.
Oh, we just did a quick...
Exactly.
Okay,
yes.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, no, the full episodes, that was
They're lost.
The early kinks and the gears, that was funny. Well, maybe we'll air them eventually. No, we won't. These sound really bad.
We'll figure it out. So I think that might be the only real issues I had was all the time jumps.
Yeah.
The lack of information as to what was going on with the Mullins family, why these girls were taken in.
The naivety of most of the girls, the nun, I don't know, with the lack of...
And I felt like the nun was making a lot of...
Excuses?
She really wanted you to buy that she was a nun. She kept on saying...
Oh, the confession. Remember the confession? Wasn't that... Didn't you find that scene super weird? Because she wanted to make a confession, and then she's like, it's a sin to go into a room that's locked?
Well, she said...
Do you know what a sin is?
Yeah, when I'm thinking, it's like, well, she didn't disobey her mother and father because she doesn't have a mother and father.
Exactly.
They're not her neighbor.
She broke a rule, which
she
is
broke
for sure.
a rule, but and then the nun was also, it doesn't matter why a sin is a sin. Is what she said.
But
no matter the context, no matter why you did it, a sin is always a sin.
But it's not
a sin. And I'm thinking well, first of all, it's not a sin. And second of all, maybe it's a sin to steal something.
Yeah.
But if you're stealing something for the greater good,
I
think God's going to be okay with that.
Did she go into the room? Did she kill something? Did she steal something? Did she love thy neighbor's wife? Did she commit?
Well, some of these are
the Ten Commandments.
Some of these are 10 commandments,
which are sins. Those are sins.
They're sins, but they're not mortal sins.
Okay, seven.
No,
deadly
those sins. are okay. The 7 deadly sins, the 10 commandments, and then you have a never-ending list of sins. But
which are not laws.
No, but you have a very small list of mortal sins that you will be sent to hell for.
Right.
Now, I don't think that this was a sin that she needs to confess.
Nothing worth confess.
I mean, if you feel guilty about it, I guess it becomes a sin.
It's so stupid.
It's. I don't know how the world works. This was the 50s.
And I guess these girls really are naive. I don't know. What do you want me to say?
Yeah, the characters really weren't fleshed out at all,
Except
than
for
Linda and Janice.
Yeah, well, even Linda not so much either. I just felt like Janice was the only one who's developed, and unfortunately, she kind of meets to her demise later.
Yeah, she's taken over by that demon.
Pretty much.
That's her story.
Yep, that's it. Bye. and she ends up killing her foster parents.
Yeah.
Later on, with her somewhat
Felt like a different movie.
Yeah.
Felt like a different. I didn't know what I was watching.
And she ended up getting a Raggedy Ann doll at the end, and I was like, "Oh, really? They're going to do that at this point? They shouldn't even put it in the same universe. If you're already committed to the fact that it's not a Raggedy Ann doll, just forget it."
Yeah, like you
Don't
do
make
this
it-
if you're going to end the universe, end the series. But now that you're giving her, that's going to raise some questions. It's confusing.
It's just because you want to say it's a tribute to it or it's a reference to it, but I feel like no, it just ruins it. The other thing I wanted to say too, the thing is, so we know in real life that the Annabelle doll is a Raggedy Ann doll. Doesn't it kind of kill the fact that the craftsmanship of what we really liked about enjoying these dolls? In the end, in real life, it was actually a Raggedy Ann doll. If they used a Raggedy Ann doll, he wouldn't be this craftsmanship aspect wouldn't even exist.
But even still, the craftsmanship of this doll was all for nothing because it didn't matter what went into the craftsmanship. It didn't matter if it was made by hand and not a machine.
Yeah,
because it really doesn't matter. Just like the Child's Play dolls, they're made by machines, but in the second movie, you got to see the guy make it by hand. Yeah, and still doesn't really matter. It's just neat seeing.
Though it does make me appreciate Child Play a lot better. But the other thing is that I feel like they just need the whole crafting of the doll part. You just need something to roll on with the credits.
That's a good intro.
It's pretty much.
Now that you're making a movie about a doll, the intro's got to be the
pretty much
creation of the doll.
I know, but
especially for a movie called Creation.
I know, but but it shouldn't even be called Creation. It should have been like Birth or I don't know, something, not Creation. What the hell? Like the doll had nothing to do with it. We just learned the doll is not possessed. The doll is just somehow like the demon really loves this doll. Yeah, it's like it's its favorite toy. That's what it is,
I guess.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I feel like, do we have anything more to say about this film? I feel like now we're just
some positive. There is some positives. Okay, I'll tell you some positives. Okay. First positive, the trailer for Mother was great. That was the first positive I gotta say from when we first went into the theater. That was a great trailer. Okay. Second, the 4 minutes of it.
both unrelated to the film, but
part of the experience though.
Sure.
Because I'm excited for it.
The chicken fingers I ate, pretty good.
It's great.
Not great though. It's going to affect my rating of this film if we rated films.
Oh, if it was Orville popcorn, then maybe it would have changed your rating. Wow. I wish we were sponsored by Orville because I'm referring to a really funny commercial.
Okay. But what about the film itself? Did you like?
The seats, it was very cold in the theater. I didn't like that. I think they changed that for you to be more scared, for you to be more cold in the theater. And that old man pries around the theater all the time.
Yeah. We need to say this now. There's in the theater that we frequent. There's this old man, and he's just a thin, wispy old man. His hair is white and stringy, and he usually wears like a cream-colored parka windbreaker. And now he just wanders in to the theater. But no matter what movie you're watching, when you're watching it, you could bet.
He won't go in the IMAX theater, though.
No, but you could bet on it that you will see him at least once during your show. People at that theater call him the Ghost.
I call him the Ghost, too.
People call him the Ghost. Like, he's gotten a reputation for this. And we've heard different stories. One of them is that he used to go there with his wife all the time. And his wife passed away. And now he just travels the theaters and sits down just trying to get some semblance of his past.
But what bothers me so much is I want to tell him to stop and get out, but I feel so bad because I know he's there for a reason, and I know it's not under good circumstances. Yeah. But though one day, I know there's not that many listeners to this podcast, so I could definitely announce what I want to do is I want to bring somebody to the theater and just be if they would notice that old man, I'd say, I'm like, what old man? And they'd be like, the old man that's basically walking around all over the place. Yeah. I'd be like, oh my God. I would say, so-and-so, that old man is Mr. Rivers. He passed away 12 years ago in that theater. And I just want I wanted to see their face turn white after that. And that would have been amazing.
White as his hair.
Yeah, exactly. That would be, but anyways, he kind of enhanced the experience a bit for me to see.
But now I need to say that, before you interrupted me, David,
sorry,
that the insider story on this guy is, and I'm sure we've talked about this before, is that he has a foot fetish. He's an old man with a foot fetish.
Oh, right, yeah.
And once you know that, you really start paying attention to where he sits. And he will pretty much only go to seats in front of somebody who has their feet up on the seat.
Right.
And I watched today, and sure enough,
he sat next to my foot.
He sat next to your foot, and he sat next to someone else's foot, because he doesn't stay for the whole movie. He stays. He gets a good 10, 15 minutes of of foot fancying done, and then he leaves. And I've noticed before too, he'll go nuts if you wear like I never wear sandals, but in the summer you see people wearing sandals, bare feet up on the seats.
What does he? I never see him do anything. What did he do?
He just goes right up to them and he puts his face real close. Sometimes he looks behind, and it's creepy, and it's.
I would
very
rub
upsetting.
I would rub garlic on my foot.
and so the lore goes, the people at the theater let him do this because it deters people from putting their feet up on the seats. Because when he goes to sit down, people generally move their feet.
Oh yeah, it won't stop me.
No,
because I know who he is. So. Yeah,
but then he's gonna sit beside you, sit in front of you all the time.
Well, unfortunately for him, my feet go through a very long day, and it won't be pleasant.
Yeah, but you don't know what people who have foot fetishes want out of it. Maybe he has a.
There's only one way to find out. There's only one way to find out, and now I'm going to find out.
All right, we're going to wrap this up. I do want to say that I liked some of the compositions of the film. I like the way it built itself up, even if it was just building itself up for a jump scare. But overall, I was very bored.
Yeah, it was very long. It was only an hour 45 minutes, and it felt like it was 3 hours.
Yeah, like when the scene where she's in the dumbwaiter, pulling herself up, going back down. I was like,
the half body crawling at her.
Yeah, it's like somebody die. So I don't care who wins. I just want somebody to end this.
Yeah, pretty much.
So I was not a fan, and I'm not looking forward to other films in this universe.
No, except for The Conjuring 3.
Sure, I didn't really like The Conjuring 2 that much.
No, I did like it, though it was... Yeah, well, we'll talk about that another time, I guess.
Sure. The original Conjuring film, I loved. Like,
Me too.
I think
Same here.
It saved horror movies.
That and Insidious.
Yeah, I didn't like Insidious that much, but I don't remember it very well.
Oh well,
I just felt like they kept making them, and I didn't care.
Again, this is right now. Right now, I think the bulk of our podcast, our films coming from these studios, are from Blumhouse. So they're almost like they're the only kids in the sandbox. They're
the ones putting the money up to theatrically release these films, because there's a lot of horror movies being made, but you gotta video on demand them. You gotta rent them.
Well, the ones that are coming up soon. I mean, like I just mentioned before, was Mother. So that's Darren Aronofsky. That looks great.
Cult of Chucky's coming up.
Yep, that's not Blumhouse, so that's pretty cool.
No, that's also not going to get a theatrical release.
I don't care. I'm still going to watch it. I still enjoy each of them except for Seed.
Yeah, Seed was by far the worst.
It is. And then we have It. It isn't part of Blumhouse, and it's technically it's the first feature, because obviously the first release was a TV movie.
Yeah,
I guess you don't count it as a real feature. Stephen King clearly
released as a miniseries, but if you watch it you watch it now, it'll play like a movie.
Right.
It'll play like an early '90s Stephen King movie, which is long and drawn out,
like Langoliers or what was the other one actually? I can't remember the other one.
I don't remember. Something about shrubs.
Right. Something like that. Whatever. Anyways, and then we got Leatherface. I'm looking forward to that one, just because he's a character favorite of mine. Even though I'm still gonna go watch. It's kind of like we watched Texas Chainsaw. I didn't like it so much, but I was still happy to see Leatherface.
Yeah, anything will be a nice surprise, even if it's terrible.
Right, and we're forgetting something else for sure. I think there's something else
for sure we are.
Jigsaw.
Yeah,
Jigsaw to be specific.
Yeah, the next couple months are going to be pretty packed. I hope we can get to all of them.
Oh yeah, I hope so too. Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, I think we said everything we need to say. I think we've said more than I thought we needed to say.
I think we said way more than we needed to say.
Absolutely.
So let's wrap this up while we're still under an hour, David.
All right.
If you want to reach us, you can send us a message. If you want to reach us, you can send us a message at cringetalk@gmail.com. And that's going to do it for this episode. So until next time, I'm Matt.
And I'm David. Have a good night.
Yeah, see ya.